Hi, I'm Paul Gruen. Here's a short video on how you can improve your electronic presentations. Here's an example of what not to do. I generally refer to this as the title says, the world's most boring slide. I've seen tons of presentations that were like this. This is actually from a real presentation somebody gave me. They were doing a talk on Robert's Rules of Order. There were about 40 or 50 slides that were like this. All text, not a single graphic, no builds, no transitions. This makes a great handout, but it's a lousy slide. Let me show you some basic rules on how you can improve things like this. First off, there's 4 basic rules to remember in any graphic design of anything you do, whether it's a newsletter, a business card, a PowerPoint, a Word report, whatever it is. There's the 10 commandments, but I'm only going to cover 4 things, so let's cross 6 of those out. The first one is contrast. You can read the sub-bullets. So title should look different than body text, should look different than bullet points, at least as far as a presentation goes. Similar sort of thoughts in any Word document or business card or newsletter, magazine, anything. Repetition, repeat visual elements consistently throughout your presentation. That goes for font size and colors and everything else. Alignment, you'll see what I mean by this with a little layout guide that I'll provide you. Notice here that the left edge of the title aligns with the left edge of the graphic. Similar, the top edge of the graphic aligns with the top edge of the first text area. Do not put your text up first and then throw in a graphic of some kind wherever it fits. That's the wrong thing to do. Proximity, things that belong together should be together. You'll notice here that these main bullet points and the sub-bullets are spaced a little closer than there's a larger space between the main bullet points, because the sub-bullet point belongs with the main bullet above it. You'll see how this all works. It's easy to remember those 4 rules. Just take the first letter of every word, turn it into an acronym, and sorry to be comical about this, but you want to put crap into your presentations and every graphic design. This comes from a book, The Non-Designer's Design Book by Robin Williams, a woman graphic designer, not the male medium. General tips with any electronic presentation. Please have a professional and, most importantly, a consistent layout. Have a graphic. People are visual. There's plenty of sources of royalty-free photos and graphics. Have a graphic that matches the topic of what's on your slide, because people are visual. That will draw them in. Do not have all of your text pop up on the screen at once. People can't read and listen at the same time. Use builds, where each bullet point, which is a short bullet point, not a full paragraph that you're reading, that's a handout, not a presentation. Remind you that you are the presentation. PowerPoint or whatever graphic you're using is simply a guide, your speaker points as far as the bullet points, and have them build one point at a time. Be very selective on your build types. The default in PowerPoint is fly up from the bottom, which I consider really annoying. You can't read it while it's building like that. People read left to right, so I just suggest a wipe from left to right. Excuse the dog that you might hear in the background. You don't have to, but consider dimming previous points. You can, I think, see the benefit of this. People realize what you are talking on and focusing on, because people will drift off periodically during your talk, and when they mentally come back, they need to have a visual clue as to what you're talking about. This is important. Be consistent with your text and your font size and type. Don't have a slide with a lot of text with a little font and another slide with few words and a big font, because somehow people feel they just have to fill up all the white space. No, you don't. White space is friendly. And have a consistent transition between slides. I prefer a fade transition, because you don't want one slide popping up and popping up after the next one. It's just visually jarring. I don't suggest that. Here's what I mean by the layout guide. So have an imaginary guide, or you can actually, in PowerPoint, they do have where you can show some various lines, grid patterns, so you can line things up. Have a title area on the top, use left justification, don't center. The only reason people center is they don't know anything better to do. Have a consistent area for the graphic, don't simply put it wherever it fits. The graphic is the most important thing, people are visual, and put the text after that. And sometimes people have too much on a slide, split it up into 2 slides if you have that much text. So the left area of the graphic aligns with the left justification of the title. The text aligns with top justification or top alignment with the graphic. And the contrast of the main bullet points, sub-bullet points, everything else. My preferred slides are actually complete photos, no words at all. You're the speaker, you know your topic, you know what you should be talking about. The graphic will just remind you what to talk about. So let's take what we've basically learned here. Take that first slide, the world's most boring slide. This was actually the title that went with that. And that particular slide's too much to have with 1 slide. So I simply split it into 2. Found a graphic that's appropriate for a board meeting. Royalty-free graphics are available. And then you have the bullet points build one at a time. Notice the alignment with the graphic and the text. Sub-bullet points are closer spaced to the main bullet point. Notice the slight difference in spacing there as far as proximity issues. And have the bullet points build one at a time. I'm not using the previous points. That's optional. You don't really have to do that. So there you go. A few minutes of some basics. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching.